Hello, everyone. Imagine a world where heat waves feel inescapable, where the air feels too thick to breathe, and where parks and green spaces of your city have been paved over. Now imagine this isn't some distant dystopia. It's a future just around the corner, unless we act. Have you ever felt that no matter what you do, recycling, cutting back your energy use, it's just never enough? That's how many of us feel when we talk about the climate crisis. We are overwhelmed by the scale of the problem, and this sense of powerlessness creates frustration, paralysis, and worst of all, inaction. And if you think about this, this is actually a recursive loop. Our frustration and this sense of powerlessness creates the inaction. The inaction, again, deepens, worsens the crisis. And with this, it deepens our sense of powerlessness. But here's the paradox. We already know what to do. Today, we had so many inspiring talks about solutions. We know how to transition to renewable energy, or we know how to create circular systems. The tools and the knowledge are here. So why are we still failing? Let me bring this home with an example from my own hometown here in Heilbronn. Back in 2019, I advocated as a local city councillor to plant 125,000 trees. Trees that would absorb CO2, cool down urban spaces, and provide vital green areas for our community. We had the chance to actually create a real momentum there because there were so many people inspired by it. For example, there were businessmen reaching out and telling me that they would be willing to sponsor 1 tree for every 10th sustainable purchase in their local store. Others wanted to incorporate it as their education project and go to schools, showing the pupils how to plant this tree and how to grow it in a sustainable way. But we failed. Our proposal didn't have a majority in the council. People who voted against it said things like, well, it's very expensive. We're already doing a lot. And so in the end, it was the environment and us who paid the price. I'm telling you this because this is not just a local issue. It's a global pattern. Projects stall because of strategic posturing in the political arena, because of bureaucracy, fear, and a lack of trust. And this gap between knowing and doing is what's holding us back. We don't need more solutions. We need a new way of thinking, a way how to align small individual actions to create systemic change. Change starts with recognizing the patterns that surround us. These patterns, how we move, how we interact, how we consume, are the invisible forces behind our systems that shape our lives. Normally, we don't recognize them. And when we don't recognize them, we're unable to change them. Let me take you to Rotterdam, where architects face the big challenge of reconnecting neighborhoods divided by infrastructure. Instead of imposing a grand vision, they studied the natural behaviors of the people, how they moved, how they gathered, and how they connected. Their solution was Luchtsingel, a pedestrian bridge. This bridge didn't redirect the people. It made these invisible patterns visible by enhancing these natural flows that were already there. With this, the bridge didn't just reconnect the neighborhoods. It connected the people to the idea that they are the ones who shape their city. Now think of your own life, your morning coffee, your habits, the way how you consume. These are all patterns too. Once we recognize them, we can start to imagine new possibilities. But patterns alone don't create change. They need connection. Networks can turn individual actions into collective power. They amplify our efforts, turning small shifts into large-scale transformations. We are not isolated islands. We are nodes in the vast networks of our connections. Our activation can inspire and energize others. When we ignite our own fire, we can illuminate the path for others. Take bringing a reusable coffee cup to work, maybe a nice one. Soon, your colleagues will notice and ask you about this change. And if you start sharing how much money you save on a yearly basis and provide details about the clear benefits for the environment, some of your colleagues might change too. Let's say, by the end of the month, the office adds a mug wall and a dishwasher. And in the end of the year, the disposable cup use will drop by 70%. Your activation has activated others. These days, we have a very powerful tool with us, AI. Artificial intelligence at its core can see patterns in ways we couldn't on our own. And because of this, it can highlight to us the patterns where we need to act on and the influences that are most important for change. For example, it can map where resources flow inefficiently or just highlight overlooked opportunities. In the end, these patterns don't need to remain hidden anymore. But AI is only a tool. It can show us the way, but the key is that the system needs to change the system. It's on us, individuals, societies, and communities, to walk that path. The final layer is the most challenging one, evolving systems. This means going beyond individual problems to thinking of how systems themselves work. Take Heilbronn again. Planting 125,000 trees would have not just absorbed a lot of CO2. It could have shifted the way how we plan our city, putting sustainability into the very core of it. But evolving systems require trust, participation, and persistence. It requires us to break the loop of inaction. And this brings us to the paradox of individual action, because alone it feels insignificant. But when small actions align, they create patterns that expand outward, and they can reshape systems. You can also think of it as a feedback loop of transformation. Small actions can build momentum. Momentum creates systemic change, and systemic change reinforces small actions. It's a cycle we desperately need to ignite. Let's pause here. Please, take a deep breath with me. Think of your own life. Think of the choices you make every day. What you eat, how you travel, how you shop. What is one small change you could do that, multiplied across millions of people, could shape a new pattern? Tomorrow morning, as you reach for your morning coffee, please stop for a second and think, what does this act represent? Could it be a moment for me to rethink sustainability, for example, by choosing fair trade beans, by reducing waste, or just by starting a conversation about change. This could be a pattern you could be ready to reshape. Imagine the world we could create if we acted together. Take Heilbronn as a city that could be shaded by trees in every street. We could create neighborhoods solely dependent on renewable energy, where waste is seen as a resource and where every action aligns with a system designed to thrive sustainably. Imagine cities built on trust, participation, and persistence, where every small action matters and is aligned with a shared vision of progress. Imagine AI as a tool that can enhance human creativity and can give communities the power to act with precision and confidence, where innovation isn't a privilege, but a tool for everyone. The question isn't whether we can imagine a better future. The question is, are we able to act on it? The solutions are already there. They're in the loops we create and the systems we evolve. The future is on the line, but it's also in our hands. What will your morning coffee mean tomorrow? Thank you.